Well, hello and welcome to Prees Recreation Club here in North Shropshire for the final of this year's Jack and Jean Isherwood Veterans Championship, kindly sponsored by Grove Continental. And what a final we have in prospect between two of the sport's great legends, Noel Burrows and Michael Leach. And joining me up here in our commentary position, up on the balcony, is Mr Merseyside, Steve Davis. Afternoon, Steve.
Afternoon, Noel.
Yeah,
Mr Merseyside.
Mr Merseyside.
I'm not in a calendar yet.
No. What about this? Two legends in the final here. Both rolled back the years.
If you look at the 32 that were here, they're probably the two famous names with respect to all the other 30. Both living legends of the game.
And both competing very well. I mean, Michael's already won the North Lancs Merit this year, already through to the champion of champions. I'm sure Noel will be determined to win this and get his place at Blackpool as well. A little bit more pressure on Noel, I guess, isn't there?
To be honest, it just goes to show with this game that you play is that if you're good enough, it doesn't really matter how old you are.
First on the board, Michael. Games are off 3. So 5-3 to Mike Leach.
That has to be said. Both gentlemen have done very well in the conditions we've got today. Quite draining.
It is, yeah.
One of this is the hottest day of the year officially. So both done well. Lasted the distance.
No. Michael's not quite mastered that one. Veered off into the number 2 green somewhere. Shake of the head from Mike.
Least said about that one, the better.
Your first visit here, what do you think of this venue?
Stunning venue.
We've just been told it's 10 years old this next week. The old facility.
Showing its age, isn't it?
Michael, you just get past.
You couldn't ask for any more, really. Wonderful setup.
And certainly well looked after us. And great sponsorship from Grove Continental to put £1,000 into the event. Good ball, Noel. First prize in this is £400. Total prize money £1,500. Not a bad day's work, it is.
You wouldn't turn it down, would you?
Funny game, I don't know what to expect here. I mean, both these guys have played a lot of marks today around the edges of the green. But I just got a feeling Noel might fancy going a bit further with Michael.
They're both good enough to do anything really. They decide to do what they have been doing and just really play the edges, or they can decide to change tactics and go corners. They're both good enough to do it.
Just give him a yard or so there.
I got a nice one from the other
fairly straight from the crowd now, across the crowd.
Well, then I got stiff.
These big bowls in those run forever.
Oh, have you done one?
Let's just give up.
I got time
Happy with that as well.
I got stitched up in the Isle of Man, Barry. Yeah. Callum Race first game.
This one's labouring as well. It's one of these sprout worms.
I put a complaint in.
One to Michael.
I bet he was duly naughty, to be honest.
Bit of a nip and tuck to start with. Neither of them have held onto the jack.
Neither of them are settled really, are
No.
they? Yeah, well, it's always been Noel's one of really started without been playing all day. He's very consistent, getting better and better as the game has gone on. Mr. Consistent. Finger plate now, he's in danger of tripling off again. Anything past the jack has struggled to stay on.
We had a lot of helicopters today. It's bothering me. I want to know where all these helicopters are going, Steve. I need to find out.
Probably an airport.
Those ones just go straight back to Hutt.
Open up the bars and keep on the green while they're heading off.
It's gone. It's a quick part of the green there.
So where do you want them to put by the back door?
The jack just falls off here.
Brian will bring them up.
Jack is in the middle of the catch and part of the green actually.
It is a nice bike out. What's that, mate?
It's not the easiest of greens. I've been on here a time or two. They run a big doubles tournament at the end of the year. And there's some funny marks on here. A bit green and brown today as well. Noel's not made the trip.
Well, to be honest, both lead bowls were probably 2 foot over. They've taken a yard out or a bit more and they've ended up off the green.
One more to Michael. I think he's going to be coming to us now. He's played this edge a lot.
Mike really has played 3 edges, the edge that he's on, the edge behind him, and the edge that he's playing to. There's Noel who's played the 2, which is the scoreboard edge, and this edge in front of him.
Yeah, you say Mike's been round, I think 3 edges. Only one he's not been round, the one over there with the privet edge.
I think that was Noel was camped out there.
He was, yeah. Yeah, then Noel make the trip. Just give up.
It's not made it from here.
No, stop playing. Just
Taking a little bit out of his face and just trying to make sure he's not made any contact with Noel's bowl. He's probably just pulled him short. Noel's now thinking anything past me over this win.
Can just get up that bank.
Tickle on it.
Just fell back.
Okay, straight. Nope, we got cleared on it was winner. So I think if Noel's bowl that he hit had stood up or fell the other way, he's probably going to fall in.
Yeah, on to Mike. Right. Which edge is he going to choose? Yeah, that one.
Mike must be thanking his lucky marker today.
Yeah, Irene Pritchett is been in position for every game. I'm sure she's on some commission of the winnings.
We must say hello to Lynn. I believe we're both abandoned on a sick bed.
Yeah.
Sorry dear, can't stay and look after you. Bowls thing to go to.
Yeah. Got to get your priorities right, Stephen. I did get out of bed and make my breakfast before we left.
Oh, that's fine. Well, she's up coughing all night. It's not like she's
Doing anything?
You woke her up, have you?
Nah, not doing anything of interest really.
Most of the players out today.
Yeah. One more to Noel.
Bit of a funny pace, man. You runs in places.
Yeah.
Dying
And say green and brown as well. So, yeah, obviously. I mean, these two will have played each other hundreds of times over the years. They'll know each other's game. I think Noel's just keen to cut the green in half and keep Michael off some of these edges.
Oh yeah.
There's all of the little finish plays where the jack is for Noel's bowl, just runs off the ridge, just trickles all the way down. Noel using a rather large bowl, just finish well to the jack.
Yeah, Mike's not going to make the trip.
Well, difference in the bowls here. Noel's using a big woods trickle down. Mike, set of plastics. Really get across to the injuries. Anything past Mike's bowl will just finish to the jack. Which I'll say anything the other side of Mike's bowl will finish to the jack. Seems to hang out in places.
It's just better pace, not sure reach. No.
First come, first serve.
Yeah, so you'd have got in.
Sorry, Wolf.
More to Noel. Burrows 7, Leach 8.
Nice little mark. Really against the bias. 1 point mark from hand.
You know,
Seems,
2 foot at the end.
seems to go back a little bit there, Stu. Oh, better route. Win it.
Another ball from Mike Leach.
Yeah. No, I think you've left it.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Condemned, I'm afraid. Can Mike Leach get to? Especially the
Just
the
needs
highest
a
up the
length.
field, it needs to finish now. So just short of the hill. Would have dropped in.
Opportunity missed from Michael. Mike's just leading out on this sort of fast part of the green.
From there, he's got a choice of edges.
Oh, good lead. Perfect.
Very happy with that ball.
Oh, immediately turned there. Gone at it, done boys.
More of,
Yeah.
more of a target. You go straight at it. Just one underneath. Not a wasted ball. It's useful there. Must count two.
It's got another. Yeah, just checking with the referee Mike Potter. Oh,
Looks underneath again, doesn't it?
no, too big.
Too far. Yeah, the choice there, Noel, is either play the ball that he tried to do and make it two, or try and play a safe. The ball that he played was all or nothing.
11-7. Michael's coming back to us.
Gone a bit further this time.
Yeah.
May not stay on this Jack, you know. May not stay on, but condemn now.
There she blows.
Surprise, surprise, Noel's not going on this edge.
Probably will be the fight. She wants to play him, so that's the problem.
Head mark towards the scoreboard. Just on the outside of it, you know. Always trying to make it hang a bit more than the planning to do so. Can Noel step in? Better land.
It's run a bit that.
It's right on top of that ridge that Noel was.
Yeah. So there's a lot of little crowns on this green.
There's nothing over Noel really.
No.
It's just gone 4 foot over.
I think just the weight of the bigger balls took it over. Michael thinks he's too far, which he is.
He was quite happy he didn't make the jump. Can Noel take one revolution out of his ball?
just stuck in, I think, Steve. Yeah. 8-11. Not sure what Noel will do now.
Yep.
He's just going.
Similar mark.
Yeah. He's coming sort of round the crown. He's not sort of on a round peg. And bias against the side of the crown. Little falling mark at the death.
Underneath will fall away.
The score is Burrows 8, Leach 11.
Dropped to be in a small yard away. Which was just a little bit further and if they've gone further down the slope. So anything underneath Jack Land is just dropping 2 feet.
Oh, Michael. Looks better.
Can't fault it. Cannot fault it.
Yeah.
Can it stop?
It's gone now. That's incredible. Look, the winner all the way. Oh, yeah, stopped in.
Difference there between plastic and wood. I think Noel's bowling similar land would have gone an extra foot further.
One more to Michael. 12-8.
I've never seen Bins one work so hard.
No. I hope Michael's paying her well.
I don't think she'll be on barrister's rates for the day.
No, I doubt it. No.
Maserati or no Maserati,
Yeah.
paying barrister's rate.
He has brought her an orange juice earlier today. A bowl.
Oh, hasn't actually reached.
Not sent it.
Can't move from there, sure. You're not happy with that.
Needs a similar bowl from Noel.
He had a 4 lead over Noel he was sticking with. Played a couple of good ends here, but the game's half up.
2 more. 10-12.
Played a bad end and it's Noel's one end from being level again.
Yeah. Noel's not counted at all when he set a mark yet. That's a bit of a surprise. Michael's played a lot down here.
Straight mark rather than a...
Although I will say, in his first round I watched Noel's and he played where this corner was in to the other corner and he was immaculate. I think he's after trying to get into the corners. Good bowl.
Probably the best lead. Keep on looking at this as don't reach. Did it won't reach?
I don't think he's quite made it.
First ball.
Inch further it will be on.
I can't stand the touch on it, that's for sure. Though Noel's low enough, he's low enough to hit it.
Well, that
Isn't
one
he?
missed it.
Yeah. Noel's scratching his head. 2 shots on for Michael now.
Make sure he's here. This is
Any
not
connection on anything he needs. Touch it in.
Sure.
Yeah, good ball. 13-10 again. Noel set a mark and he's not counted.
Looking a bit tired and you certainly haven't seen Mike Leach running after his bowls what he's famous for.
He doesn't run them anymore. Tell me he doesn't run them up anymore. Speaking to him earlier and he said he's a better player now for not running. I said to him, why are you not running? He said, because my legs are knackered.
Fair comment.
He had a fall on the green last year and there's a problem I think with hamstring and things like that, so it's just slowed him down for his normal energetic self.
He did go slightly base over apex at Martin Institute from what I remember. I think he might have it on camera.
Yeah.
Did get a nice round of applause.
Yeah, he didn't get a lot of sympathy, did they?
No.
Just a lot of people taking photographs of him, lying on the ground.
I think Martin Institute was slightly worried he was going to sue them. Looking narrow again, isn't it?
And everything's
Now
gone
we're
left.
sure.
Everything's gone left. Michael's asked for a measure.
Well, the two furthest bowls belong to Mike Leach. He does look rather confident, does Mike?
Yeah, Noel's slammed the mat on the ground. I think Noel thinks it's 2.
I'm not sure Noel can believe he played that second bowl.
2.
Noel's first bowl was 4 foot off and
Yeah.
he didn't improve on it. And
15-10.
Mike will be thinking now, good end.
Yeah.
Counter, yeah. Game's half 1 now. Just need 6 more.
It's not a million miles away, this one. Yeah, good bowl, Michael.
Well, I think we would have given one of the wheels from his Maserati for a good lead.
Yeah. And Noel's turnover. Another peg. Right, it's done by us.
Chance with this.
That's right as well. Done well.
Good effort.
I think Michael's got to turn his peg as well. Can't come in the same way as the Jack came. And Noel's given an idea of the land because it was a good effort of Noel's, no doubt. Nearly got another here. Nearly got another. Good ball, Michael.
Oh, nice target though.
Yeah, Noel will not be short, that's for sure. Oh, he's played at it a couple of yards of pace. Got his eyes on it.
Yeah,
Got his eyes on it. Still 1 down. Saver.
it's all good bowls in that end, really.
Yep, 16-10. Michael Leach.
Mike's pretty close, he's going back to He may not be chasing after him, but he's got a bit of a strut on now. Yeah, good ball from Noel. Mike Leach just a yard short. Noel had to snatch it and Mike's further with this. Still looking at this.
Give it a chance. Give it a chance there. Needs it full.
Oh, what's it done?
Yeah, it's done it. Not a great shot. Michael says it's gone quiet. He must have won it.
Couldn't get any closer to that.
He just took a coat of polish off that. Yeah. Until here, I think of back Michael, Noel.
I think Mike played his second ball, turned around and he was quite rightly expecting a fair few louder claims for a wonderful bowls and rounds of applause, but too hot for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, this clapping, so he's meant to be there.
17-10 to Michael Leach. Oh, he's come a long way now. Just about keep the Jack on.
He's not running after him, but he's walking halfway down the green.
Just going to view. Bad ball, just 4 feet short. Anything past the Jack's going to go off.
Doesn't need much on his first ball to be a good one. There's no bigger ball.
Just slipped past.
Gotta be careful. Can't afford to put too much on it. Because without a connection, it'll
Well, it's further here. Winner coming in.
I want a good bowl. It's a good bowl. It stops. If it stops.
Yeah.
It stopped.
Yeah, Noel firing at this, playing at this pace. Hard to beat it where it's situated, isn't it, Steve? So, yeah, watching it. Just outside. 18-10. This man here, Michael Leach. A long way back for Noel now, Steve.
You think they've had me on the wall. Michael's dominated.
Back in the middle. Jack has fell right in the little hole. Can you get the ball in the hole as well? It's gone through to 2 feet. You can just see it in like a little bunker there, situated there, Steve.
Is he retired now? Has he finished yet? Last time I spoke to him, he was gone up, I couldn't remember what date it was.
Just gone out.
Can't believe it. Can't believe it. He almost ran after that one, then he but he doesn't run after him.
No. With his,
He was twitching. He was
with his money, he could probably afford a runner, couldn't he?
There's about half a dozen young lads from North Lancashire now. They're doing nothing useful with their lives. They could come and carry them.
Of course they could, yeah. No, want to know, 11-18. As I said earlier, just Noel is not counted when he's led a jack. Not sure if we can get it where he set that mark now. Right under the tree, yeah, just to the jack. Just about to see it. Length bowl there from Noel. Yeah. If this runs, it wins. Runs, it wins. Got in.
He thought stop running after that one, you know. He thought about it. This is fair.
Off green. Off the green. Oh, big chance for 2. Looks the same as his first. It's gone. Last yard runs, yeah. Gone off the green.
I can't believe it. He can't believe it.
On to Michael. 19-11. Big opportunity for a double there.
He would quite happily spend all day arguing in front of a judge that he hadn't put any more in that one.
He's got the jack back in his hand. And he's throughout the game he's made more use of it than Noel. And where we're going now, on this edge, which has served him very well throughout the day.
He's played this well. Can't afford to be taxed with jack. Gravity in the paper, gravity in the rise of the bow will always bring it down the hill.
The ball. Well, 19-11. Might need to put the pressure on. Needs another one now. Needs another counting ball to lie up.
He's not running, he's strutting.
Yeah, good in. Good in again. He won 2 for a game in the trophy. Couldn't wish for much better than that.
No, was quite handy, put a young blocker in.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's going to fire at it. I'm not sure what he can see.
He's front peg trying to go underneath the
Oh,
bowl.
here it comes. Oh, took one out. Very fortunate there.
The look on Mike Leach's face was not in the picture with that.
Fortunate. Still hanging in, 2011.
I think when you're 20, 11 up, you can see the funny side of that.
If it was 20 across, he might not have been so happy, Michael.
No.
But he got the game won. He's back into the middle of the green. Got into that hole.
Kick back through the hole. Same lap. Kisses the jack and sweeps out. Mike's on the line game, he's looking for a good second.
Lines up.
Sure can tell, be impressed with that one. This is a lot wider from Noel. Too wide.
Too far.
Too far.
There we are. All over. There we have the winner of the Jack and Jean Isherwood Veterans Championship, sponsored by Grove Continental, Michael Leach, who's in a real rich vein of form so far. He's now double qualified for the Champion of Champions. Unlucky Noel, but I think it's fair to say that Michael just led that little bit better, didn't he, Stu?
With due respect to Noel, he's not really played his best game there with Mike.
Presentation will take place in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it's been an enjoyable, if hot and sticky day here, Steve. And there we have the winner, Michael. I think he might need a rub down. I don't know if he's playing anywhere tonight.
Might be an extra job there for that, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, anyway, thanks for joining me up here, Steve. It's been a good day. A good final contested by two of the sport's great legends.
Presentation, I'm sure Barry would like to say a few words. I have to write them down. Can I first start off with an apology? I forgive the referees for not having their blades on, but a day like today we don't often see in the bowling calendar. On behalf of the British Crown Green Bowling Association, can I begin by thanking today's sponsors, Ray Grove Top, and the name up on the top there, Grove Continental. As most of you know, in the bowling world, it's always difficult to get sponsors, but when you get a company like Grove Top, a well-known name and brand, coming on board, we are very grateful, Ray. Thank you very much for that. And I'd like to give thanks to our competition secretary, John Coxhill, with his young assistant, Pat, in organising and running today's event. Pat's not doing very well. Still suffering with a cold, but anytime you want any big on your chest, I'll rub it on, Pat. Tonight, the people that stay on the green the longest in any game of bowls on the album are usually the referees and measures. A grand job, a brilliant job done today, ladies and gents, the referees and measures. Thank you very much. Can I thank all bowlers who entered the competition for Jack and Jean Isherwood in the first place, and today's 32 finalists. To get through one game was an achievement. To win 5 games on conditions like today of absolutely, we are the wrong age of 50. The Jack and Jean Isherwood, we play under this Jack was a former president of the association, and it's a day like today that we remember Jack and Jean with fondness. Today we witnessed some excellent bowling under very energy-sapping conditions. Today's final pairing, probably two of the great bowlers named in bowls, other than Jared Merritt. And Mike and Noel. The winner, Mike, reaches the inter-season champion of champions. So all the best for that, Mike. Can I end my short resume, or whatever you want to call it, by thanking Priest Bowling Club for their officials in letting us stage today's event. And you, the spectators, we haven't charged you getting sunburned, but I hope you're not too red. We thank you for your support. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. President. Losing quarter-finalist, David Mallinsley, South Yorkshire. Gerald Murray, Cheshire. And Tom Silcock, South Yorkshire. Losing semi-finalist, John Bonatti, Wales. The other losing semi-finalist, Ian Farimo, Potteries. Runner-up and very worthy runner-up, Noel Burrows.
I don't know anybody can enter that. Yeah, I mean, no, not in this one.
No, we'll turn around for a photo, please. Thank you.
Just come in.
And today's winner, and a very worthy winner, Michael Leach.
And there we have it, Michael Leach receiving his cheque from Ray Grocott from Grocott Continental, and his picture took, £400 first prize, and the place in the Champion of Champions, double qualifier. He's there with President of British Crown Green, Barry Massey. A very pleased Michael.
Want to say anything, Michael?
And Mike wants to say a few words.
I'm nearly too tired to speak, actually. It's been a very demanding day. It's a privilege to play now. Don't stop you from that. He's absolutely over the years. He's absolutely a great player. I've seen him 50 years ago. Such a phenomenal player. I hope he qualifies. He's a lovely to obviously the organisers, sponsors, market measure, my special market, thank you very much indeed. To Tony Bamber from our county for talking me into playing in what I regard as an old folky competition. For the first time in my life, the encouragement to play in it, I'm really glad you did that, so thank you very much for watching.
Nice congratulations, nice speech there for Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks everyone.
Everybody, a very safe journey home. Thank you very much.
Well, Crown Green Bowl for forever and a day has been full of legends. Sadly, the entertainment has died over recent years, and there's few and far between. But I'm pleased to say I've got one of the real legends of the sport with me here, Mr. Michael Leach. Afternoon, Michael.
Hi, Mel.
You like being called a legend?
I am, but yeah, I've noticed people have called me a legend. That usually means they think I'm past it now.
Yeah. Well, we won't say you're past it because we're sitting here at Paris Recreation Club, and you've just won the Veterans All England. First time you've entered it, you won it. You must be very proud.
I am. As I said in the speech, I'm grateful to Tony Bamber from our county, who said you should enter this Veterans, and I've always thought I'm not going to enter Veterans competitions until I've stopped playing in the normal competitive ones. But he taught me into playing, and I'm really glad I did now.
Yeah. You've played 5 games in really hot conditions and ended up playing Noel Burrows, another legend.
Yes.
That's a bit special, isn't it?
It was a bit special. I mean, I can't pretend I didn't look at the draw and see that Noel was in one half and I was in the other. But I didn't know a lot of the players, in fairness. And just as we kept getting through, I thought, surely I'm not going to play Noel in the final. And as it happens, I saved my best game for the final against him.
Yeah, you must have played many, many times over the years.
I wouldn't like to say how many. Probably, let me say, probably has the edge on me over the years. But we've had some great games over the years. He is a fantastic player to play against. And I mean, he is a bit older than me as well, so...
He's 71 now.
Yeah, I was amazed. I didn't think he was that old. I thought he was 69.
Yeah, no, it's a good achievement, and just been told you're the first person to win the Senior All England and the Veterans All England, so another record for you.
Yeah, that can go down. I'm sure somebody else will do it in due course, but it's a marvellous thing for me to do. Yeah. I'm just sorry I didn't win our county Veterans. I lost in the final there.
So the Senior and the Veterans, I don't think you're going to make the Junior, are you?
No, not yet.
Yeah. Anyway, how's after 5 games, how's the old body stood up to it?
Well, I'm lucky really. I don't run after them anymore because I fell on the green last year and I can't run so much, and that's probably improved my game, because probably in trying to entertain I might have run after too many bowls over the years, so now I have to take it a bit easier, but I still do try and entertain even though I can't run after them, because I think that's what the game's about.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah, but so we're all getting a bit older. I mean, myself, who used to in the morning used to be the old breakfast cereal, used to go snap, crackle and pop. Now to my knees and my joints. I suppose you're probably a bit the same, really, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I'm very lucky, really. I mean, there's no substitute for decent health. I'm like you, I'm not overweight.
No.
So that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
I creak a bit, but I'm lucky still to be playing, and it's a privilege still to be playing, and I'm having a great season.
Yeah. I was just going to say, you're in a rich vein of form at the moment.
Have been so far. It can turn. I mean, that's the great thing about the game. It can turn at any time. But yeah, I've had a really good season. I've played as well for a spell as probably as well as I've played for 30 years.
Yeah. So you've won the North Langton 5 and double qualified for the Championship.
Double qualified already. Yeah. You spend years trying to qualify for the champions, and then you double qualify by the 1st of July.
See if they'll let you save one for next year. You might be able to do that.
That would be the answer. Yeah.
That'd be nice to win that, wouldn't it?
Yes, I've never won it. I've lost twice in the final, I think.
You have, yeah.
Yeah. I thought so.
Yeah.
But I'm fitter this year. So,
Okay.
Well, it looks like it.
Yeah.
I played 7 games in a day to win the county merit, so 5 in a day should have been a doddle today, apart from the weather.
Yeah. And the senior merit you've got at Florence as well in a few weeks' time.
Yes.
Winner back in '84.
Yes.
Be nice now to win it, wouldn't it? 30 odd years
goodness
later.
Me. It doesn't even bear thinking about, does it? But
No.
yeah, I've only played the green one day. In a supplementary county competition. I thought it was a super venue, super green.
Yeah.
I mean, I presume they'll play 2 greens, right? They played 1 on the day. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to going there.
Yeah. Both greens are difficult. In fact, the number 2 green, we know all about the number 1, number 2 greens really are green as well.
Okay, good.
So
good.
I'm sure you'll be there trying to win it 30 years later.
30 years on.
Long day, 6 games, but
yeah, well, Noel did it, didn't he, when he was 67?
Yeah. But of course, you thrive on those sort of atmospheres. There'll be 1,500 people there packed round.
Yes.
It's your conditions.
Well, I mean, it's not always easy if 1400, the 1500 are shouting against you. But you've to learn to take it, and I'd rather have that than nobody there.
Yeah.
So you can thrive on it.
Would you say winning the All England's been highlight of your career so far?
Well, yes, I mean, it is the biggest thing I've won, because obviously I've never won the Waterloo or the Champion of Champions. So yeah, for what it was at the time, particularly at the time, to win it in Yorkshire was fantastic. But there've been a few odd different achievements that even though I'm still trying to win the Waterloo, I suppose. I did win the Spring Waterloo. I think winning 2 41-ups in one night back in 1977 was my most unique achievement.
Yeah.
If
Where
you
was
could
that?
ever- It was at Patricroft and Hillcrest. And when there were 41-up competitions, one game in a day when you played, and I suddenly found myself, when I won a semi-final, I can't remember which way around it was, they said, your final's on such and such a day. I said, well, I'm already in a final. They said, well, we can't alter it. And it only worked out courtesy of two players, neither of whom are with us now, Neville Constantine and Jack Taylor. Neville agreed to play me early at Patricroft, and Jack Taylor said he'd wait for me at Hillcrest.
Yeah, no, good. Two great players.
Two great players, but and obviously in the spirit of it. So I suppose it was inevitable. If I won the first one, I was likely to win the second. If I'd lost the first one, I'd have probably lost the other. So 2 41-ups in one night.
Some achievement that is, yeah. You said in your speech here you've been playing, what, 50 years, is it?
Well, yeah, it's probably a bit longer actually. I think my first tournament win would be in St Anne's, and that'd be, I think I was 13, so that'd be 1960. So I suppose I'm a bit like, I mean, Gary Player claims to have won golf tournaments in 6 different decades, so I think I've probably done the same, but I imagine Noel will have done the same as well.
I have.
You have?
I have.
There
In
we are,
6,
you see,
yeah. Yeah, I won my first one as a young kid in '69. Yeah.
Right, okay.
So I just about scrapped
Yeah,
into
you
that
scrapped it,
decade, just about. So
well, you'll have a chance to win them in 7 different decades.
Oh,
I
we'll
probably
do it.
won't.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. I might have to rely on Lynn helping me through a few doubles or something. I might have to,
counter pairs.
yeah, I might have to count that one if we can win any of those. Yeah. How did you get into the sport?
It was when I was a very young, literally 4 or 5. My mum used to go shopping in St Anne's Square. We lived in St Anne's. It was before I was at school, and I used to go with her, and she used to leave me to watch the bowling at a green which isn't there anymore. There was a green virtually in the middle of St Anne's Square. I mean, you couldn't do it these days. It'd be child abuse leaving me to stand around a bowling green on my own at that age. But she left me, and I watched the bowling, and then I got into it playing at our local park, and they were very good. Hope Street Rec in St Anne's. We had a lads team when I was 8, and we played against the ladies. There weren't any other lads teams, but we used to play. And then I was playing in the league in St Anne's when I was 12. So, and I've just played ever since.
So it was by chance, really. I mean, a lot of people get introduced to the parents, like I did, and things like that, don't they? But
my mother's father, my maternal grandfather, he played, but he died when I was quite young.
Yeah.
So I didn't really play with him, and then my mum took the game up after I'd taken it up, just to keep me company. So she played a bit. But yes, there was no real family influence apart from, as I say, my mum letting me watch it, rather than trail around the shops with her.
Yeah, just left you in the park one day.
Yeah, virtually. Yeah.
Don't sound very good, really, does it? Just dump you in the park.
Well, there were safer times, I think.
Yeah, they were round about then. I mean, you've come through Crown Green Bowls at its peak, if you like.
Yes.
Haven't you, through the 70s, 80s and so on, and so much on TV and all the rest of it. You must have some very great memories of those times, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they were fantastic times. It's sad, really, that the game, I suppose, from a point of view of sponsorship, has declined. Greens have gone, tournaments have finished. My only real regret is that I never saw the panel at its peak when there were hundreds of people watching the panel games and thousands of pounds changing hands, and we're talking 40 years ago. But I was working then, and of course if you played on the panel you were treated as a professional. You couldn't enter the amateur tournaments.
That's right, yeah.
So I regret missing that, but to play alongside, people like Brian Duncan, Noel, Noel and Fletcher, all those great players. You had stand for, they were hard players. Roy Armstrong. You'd enter tournaments and you'd have to play half a dozen players like that.
And your good friend Vernon Lee.
And Vernon, yes. Vernon to me was the greatest of the entertainers. But there's a lot of young lads from your area, and just further south from you, who are playing the game in the spirit that I like. They're enthusiastic. They love the game. They're chasing the balls up. And that's as it should be. And I just hope they don't get discouraged. I hope referees show a bit of flexibility to them. Because there'll have been people, young Vernon Lees coming through the game, who've perhaps been discouraged, thinking, I'm getting in trouble with the ref because I'm trying to run my ball up. Vernon was brilliant. You could play Vernon. You'd be in stitches playing him, watching him, and he was just a pleasure to play.
Yeah, I played him a few times, but it's hard to concentrate against Vernon.
You couldn't, no. You didn't see the ball from it going to his hand, and then he'd be after it, and then he'd waltz round it, and suddenly he'd step back, and there it is by the jacket. You've not a clue how it's got there.
No, that's right. Yeah. You're talking about young lads coming through. Of course, you met one at the Martin last year, didn't you, in Greg Smith?
Yes,
he's super talented, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a tremendous player. Because I was playing well. I didn't play quite as well in the final against him, but I'd played well to get to the final. You see Callum Reid. Callum's tremendous entertainment on the
he's great. Yeah.
And they're fearless, aren't they?
Yeah.
I never could strike as hard as they do, but the fierceness with which they strike these days, and they just expect to hit everything, and it's tremendous to watch.
Going back to the Martin, you're a Martin specialist. You have for years. You've won a lot of stuff on there. And Greg, first time we've seen it, just steps on the green.
Yeah.
As you say, there's no fear at all.
No. He played really well.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good young talent about, and I'm pleased. I'm quite flattered in some of the big tournaments if I'm the oldest player now. And these youngsters, they're great to play.
Yeah, but it's nice to go. You've gone through all the generations, all the great names you've played. Who do you think the best player you've ever seen?
Brian Duncan.
Brian.
Yeah. When he was on song, I couldn't live with him. I was lucky enough. I beat him a few times, but not as many as he beat me. He just destroyed people. He was the best. You can never compare eras, can you?
No, you can't.
There's Gary Ellis, G.I. Wilson now, who are absolutely at the top of the game. I think, the man that I would actually pay money to watch play has just won the Isle of Man, John Kennish. I think if he'd have lived over here, he'd have been a fantastic player.
Yeah, he's won 100 odd tournaments on the island. He was telling me recently when I was over there.
Yeah. And the way he sends a ball, if I could send a ball like that, I would think I could play.
Yeah, you never had quite the same delivery.
Not quite, no. I don't think anybody's modelled the delivery on mine.
No. Just going back to that, one of the biggest downsides was this spell you had years ago when you couldn't loose your bowls. I think you took some time out, didn't you?
Yes, I did, yeah. Whatever the bowls equivalent of the yips is, I got it. I got it in, funnily enough, the year after I won the All England, 85. I just couldn't, I couldn't send a ball. Some people come to me and say, I've got delivery problems, my woods aren't going out so clean. That's a different matter. I just could not force myself to send the ball. And I got back into it courtesy of some very nice people at Wood Plumpton who taught me into, after I'd given up, joining their tournament. Had a few drinks before I played, took a bit of the pressure off, and slowly but surely I got better. And I never knew what really caused it.
Must have been a very difficult time for you.
It was awful, especially, unfortunately, some people thought it was some sort of tactic, stopping and starting before you deliver. It was hard in a county match, and I don't blame the Yorkshire crowd. It's a hard school, isn't it? But the year after I won the All England at Cleckheaton, our county match was there and I played and I got 3 and cost us the county final probably, and the crowd were counting my false starts. And I certainly don't blame them for it. I might have done the same, but it was then I realised, I had to give up or cure it. Anyway, it's cured itself. Yeah. It's never come back, and I don't think it ever will come back.
No. How long did you take out?
I took about 3 years out in total. Yeah. I came back. I couldn't say what. I came back, and I say they taught me into playing at Wood Plumpton, which was a green I knew, and I went and won that tournament that year, and that got me back in it. But I couldn't swear what year that was. That might have been 89 or something, or 88 perhaps. But I certainly packed in 85.
Yeah. You didn't go and see like a sports psychologist?
No, I suppose that would be the answer these days.
Yeah.
They did a bit of a programme on TV, because at the time it was never fashionable to have the yips, but there were one or two people. There was Bernard Langer at the time with his golf was struggling. Eric Bristow was struggling at darts. There'd been the Patsy Fagan incident at snooker with him struggling to play with a long rest. So they did a TV programme. They put me under hypnosis. I'm never quite sure why, but the guy said he could cure it if need be, but if I wanted a course of treatment, but I declined that.
I think you're still hypnotised the way you play today. They never snapped the fingers and got you out of that one, did they, Mike?
Maybe it's worked after all.
Would that say, what would you say is the biggest, not say regret, the biggest things, as you mentioned, not having won the Waterloo just at the moment. Is that your biggest sort of regret,
probably,
disappointment, should I say?
Probably, yes. I know that champion the champions, but the Waterloo's harder to win potentially, isn't it? Because and I think I've lost 4 times in the semi-final. It might be 5. And the first year I lost in the semi-final, I thought I perhaps might have deserved to win it that year, but that was 77. I lost at 20-all with a strike. I was unlucky, but I always think I'm unlucky, of course. To Len Gilfedder, who then lost to Len Barrett very easily in the final. The other times I've lost, I've lost fair and square. I've not played as well as I should have done. But hand on heart, it's not a green that really suits my game. People say, oh, you play on the Waterloo. Well, I don't play on the Waterloo. I play in the tournament like everybody else. But it's a bit big and flat for my game. I'd rather have a bit more of a crown. I prefer the rakes in Blackpool. I prefer the rakes green for bowling on. But the Waterloos, are Wimbledon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's special place.
Yeah, it is.
It's good to see it's doing reasonably okay. Then
it's come back. And,
things are looking quite good there at the moment as well.
Yeah. There's good people involved in it now. So hopefully it will make its comeback, and hopefully the rakes as well, because when I was growing up, those 2 tournaments.
Yeah, special, weren't they?
They were unbelievable. There were ticket touts. I mean, you'll just about remember.
Yeah, I've been there.
Outside the Waterloo, if you hadn't got a ticket, you could pay 3 times the price to get in. All right, those days have probably gone. But when you see pictures of the old Waterloo with the crowd around, all smartly turned out, all in the hats, and it was fantastic atmosphere.
What do you think the reason it's perhaps not quite as popular now?
Well, I think there's a lot more tournaments where people can enter in their own area. I don't know, it's hard to say. The top bowlers are probably a bit overexposed. In the old days, if you wanted to see Brian Duncan play, he wouldn't necessarily be everywhere. So you might, as a spectator, you might think, well, I really want to go and see Brian Duncan, so I'll find where he's playing. And that's why the game's undersold, of course, because people aren't going to pay silly money to come and watch players. They can watch every week in the local league.
Right, and we've lacked a bit of television coverage.
Yeah, we have, which was sad. The BBC sort of lost interest. I mean, there was the 2 producers who were interested were Nick Hunter and Keith Phillips, and after that I don't think anybody's really had it at the top of their priorities, which is sad.
I mean, some years you'd be the same. I remember one year I think I played in 7 televised tournaments everywhere, weren't they? Harwick and Granada and everywhere, even down our way, Central. The All England when you won it, wasn't it? Televised.
I think it was. There was certainly they had an invitation tournament at Spen Victoria in Yorkshire. I came down
to the Alvis at Coventry,
Yeah,
didn't you?
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember you coming down there and
Yeah.
Vernon. There's
yeah.
quite a number, but it'd be nice to get that back, although we are working on it.
I know. Well, nobody's working harder than you for the
No,
for the game, so it's tremendous, Mel. And whatever you can do,
Hopefully we can get somewhere.
yeah.
And,
But it's just like I say. I think there's a good young crop of players who will make good television.
yeah,
Really.
yeah. I mean, you've come across the Warwick and Worcester county side, I guess, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah, but that's good, isn't it?
What a good set of
What a good
guys,
set of guys they are. Yeah,
Yeah.
and of course, they're a hard team to play, and they've plenty to say for themselves. But quite right too.
Yeah, it's fine. It's in different areas of the country. I've noticed where you see down there where things are sort of booming, and then other parts of the country they're struggling. Like, look at Cheshire and Cumbria can't even get a junior team out this year.
Yeah,
County
right,
team. It's very
right.
sad, isn't it? Different parts
It
of
is.
the country.
It is.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, I haven't any answers as to. I don't know what the problem in Cumbria is, because they've a big enough area. But it's hard for the people like Ian Nicholson and Martin Gilpin. I mean, they have to travel everywhere. Long way for any tournaments, really. And they're good enough to come away and win money. But for those who aren't good enough to win money, it's an expensive hobby, isn't it? Travelling.
Yeah, it is travelling. Yeah. I mean, over the the 50 years you've been playing, what would you say the main changes you've seen within the game over that time?
Well, the absence, I suppose, of professional rules, the introduction of referees. Not always been my favourite people, but I have to say, generally speaking, I don't know whether there's any new instruction, but they seem less interfering, shall I say. Everybody grumbles about referees, but there was a time when kicking players' woods off became almost the norm, and that's an awful thing to see happen, particularly in big tournaments. I particularly like the two throws anyway of the jack rule, but I know it'll never be introduced again. And not just personally because it helps somebody who plays down the edge, but the corner players. Where are the real corner players these days? Because they can't get deep into the corner, otherwise they're risking losing the jack. And I don't think two throws was particularly abused. I'd like to see somebody just say, well, let's try it. If it means the spectators get something a bit more interesting with a real top-class corner player going full corners, or somebody playing down an edge and keeping the jack just a foot or two on, without being penalised every so often. I think that'd be great. I miss the two throws. But yeah, other than that, I've had a great time. I've loved it.
Yeah. If there was one thing you could change, what would it be? Apart from the two throws?
Apart from the two throws. Well, I suppose I'd have liked over the years for it to be more, for the top players, for it to be more financially rewarding. But it's a great hobby, and it's a cheap hobby, generally speaking. It's missed, for a while it missed the boat for television coverage. If proper television coverage could come back, then that would be fantastic, because with the television coverage comes a sponsorship. And with the sponsorship, obviously then the players benefit, everybody benefits. It's then from ground up, everybody benefits.
Yeah. We'll just keep our fingers crossed. As I said, we're working on things behind the scenes,
I know you are.
and
I know.
we'll see what we can do. But
we'll just try and do it in my lifetime.
In your lifetime, yeah, you got plenty of years in here. You got to come and win this competition again before next year. You got to go and defend it now, haven't you?
Yeah.
The pressure's on you in North Langton Fylde, isn't it?
I'll be doing my best.
Yeah, I might be having a word with Brian Duncan. I'm thinking he ought to enter that.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah.
He should. Yes, it's a pity, Brian. I mean, I understand that he didn't feel he could compete at the same level anymore, and he was so good. I can understand that. For those of us who maybe weren't quite as good, we didn't have quite as far to fall.
No.
So
that's right. Yeah, it's good.
And I mean, I have heard that. Since he's heard that I've been winning tournaments again, he's been threatening to go, on the basis if Leach could win tournaments, he should be back.
Yeah, he said that to me.
Yeah, I bet he did.
Yeah. Anyway, Mike, it's well done today.
Thank you very much.
You've very well. It's a pleasure speaking to you.
Thanks.
My
pleasure.
A pleasure watching you over the years, and also to know you as a friend, mate.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thanks for that.
Thanks a lot.